Yo, what is going on YouTube? So I pull up to the house, or Paul, and I'm bringing you a brand new series today. I know I got a couple other ones. They'll be linked in my description below if you're new. But this is an offline association that one of my subscribers, his name is actually MarkWeldman. He put it in the comments of one of my videos recently. He said, "Hey, you should start an association." I think it was in one of my my career videos, and I said, "Oh, okay. Well, since it was your idea, go ahead and pick the team." So as we start this up here, I said, all right, I'll let you choose the squad. Here's some of what I decided to do. I'm starting from the beginning of the season, all 82 games. I'll be the only player. Chemistry's on, roles, all that good stuff. But what he wanted to see me take a sorry team, a non-playoff team this year, and kind of bring them to prominence, or bring them back to prominence. So I let him know that he can choose my squad. He came back with 3 different teams, and I decided to name this series Rebuilding a Contender. So it kind of foreshadows who I'm going to pick. But of the teams in the league, he wanted me to choose between the Dallas Mavericks. He also wanted me to choose between the Mavericks, the Cavaliers, and I believe the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, of those 3 teams, 2 of them already seem to be set for the future as well. I mean, as far as improving. As you see, Portland already has Aldridge, a budding star at power forward, and Lillard, the Rookie of the Year, while the Cavaliers have, Kyrie, one of the top 5 or 6 point guards in the game already, and Dion Waiters, some cap space, and some valuable trade chips. I chose Dallas because they need help. I mean, look at the team right there. Dirk is a Hall of Famer, but he's in the twilight of his career. OJ Mayo is a young scorer who's pretty decent, and Vince Carter is an older guy. So I chose them because they they have the least amount of upside of all the teams that my boy MarkWeldman wanted me to choose from. Now the next part I'm going into is the role assignments. As you can see here, I got Mike James, OJ Mayo, Shawn Marion, Dirk, Chris Kaman, Vince Carter, Darren Collison, Brandon Wright, Elton Brand, Jay Crowder, Anthony Morrow, Bernard James, some dude named Covington, and Roddy Bobois. I decided to, I'm going to have Roddy Bobois definitely be more than a prospect because he's been on this team for years. So much so that way back when he was still good, Mark Cuban wanted to get Amari Stoudemire to pair up with Dirk so bad, but he wouldn't give up Bobois for some reason. I have no clue. That's kind of like the rumors that were going around when LeBron was still in Cleveland. They wanted to get Amari too, but they wouldn't give up J.J. Hickson. That's my boy Luke's. That's one of his favorite players. But nah, man, the dumb dudes have been going with the quickness. But you can see, I made those. I decided to start who I'm starting. The other guys are going to be role players. I'll go through it later in a minute, exactly what they'll be doing. I decided to do a download from 2K Share, and this dude, he had all caps, so I was sold. Said this is treasured work. I perfected it, so I said, why not? Let's give it a shot. Let's download this baby and see what it looks like when I start scouting. That'll be in another video. But take a look here. It's always cool when I start one of these things just to go back and see what some of the storylines going into the season were. As you see, LeBron had his first title, and they're actually going for their second one, or his second one in a row. Today's Saturday, so on Father's Day, he'll be looking to get up 3-2 against the Spurs. I don't know who I got in that series, but I'll do another video on that this weekend. The Brooklyn Nets joining Deron Williams and Double J, Joe Johnson together. Melo, what are they going to do in New York? Clippers Nation, and Anthony Davis, who would actually go on to be the runner-up for Rookie of the Year. Now, breaking down my roster, as you see, I've got a pretty, decent nucleus. I've got some young, some young talent in there. I've got Dirk, who's not going to go anywhere. I'll tell you now, I'm not making any moves, including Dirk. But I've got OJ Mayo, who's a young scorer, but he's also on a 1-year contract. Vince Carter is up there in age now. He's not quite half man, half amazing anymore. Shawn Marion is a jack of all trades kind of guy. He does a lot of things. He rebounds, plays defense, can knock down an occasional 3, even though he has the ugliest jump shot in this game. Elton Brand is a seasoned veteran who can block shots and rebound as well. Looking through this roster, at first I thought I was going to be kind of like in cap hell, like Oakland Raiders style, but they have tons of guys on 1-year deals. So depending on how the first season goes, I'm not totally sure if I'm going to play through all the games or just play important like key game types and then just sim the majority of the season. But most of my squad, they're on 1-year deals, so I can be a big player in free agency next year if I decide to, or if we have a good year and I want to maintain the continuity, I can bring back a lot of these guys. So as you can see, there's, I believe, Dirk and the rookie, is that Cunningham? I believe those two are the only guys that are on contract beyond this year, and Shawn Marion. But Shawn Marion, he's not going to be on this team too much longer. As you see, I go to the contract extensions. Nobody's eligible yet, excuse me. But as you see, there's tons of guys that are going to be, off the books after this season. So, there's Chris Paul and there's Chris Paul and Dwight Howard. So we'll see what happens. Iguodala is going to be available next year more than likely. Now, as far as free agents go, currently I have updated rosters. So the cut of Steven Jackson from the Spurs has been reflected, and he wouldn't be a bad guy to bring in for veteran leadership. I like Raja Bell, Delonte West, Michael Redd, not so much Mo Evans or Azabwiki. I'm going through all the positions now. Point guard is pretty light after D West. Shooting guard's gonna have Raja Bell and Michael Redd. Might bring in Raja Bell. I think he has lockdown defender. I'm not totally sure, but he'd be a nice pickup for defensive assignments. We played the Lakers a few times, so you definitely have somebody to guard Kobe. So who knows? Power forward is really weak. I skipped over small forward. You got Captain Jack in there, who's going to be the guy I may bring in. Center is just pathetic. Samardo Samuels is headlining, so it's definitely not a deep crop of centers. Now, like I said just a minute ago or so, Shawn Marion is not going to be on this team anymore. He makes too much money, and he's on a 2-year deal. I'm looking to get young and some cheap services as well. So we went into Trade Finder to see what I can get. Sixers aren't offering very much. I don't want to bring Kwame Brown in, but those guys are on a couple expiring contracts. The Bobcats have nothing to offer. Neither do the Bucks. I'm not interested in Mbah a Moute or Gooden. Sorry, Luke, but your Cavs aren't bringing it. They're not offering very much either. This is actually a pretty decent deal, bringing Jeff Green in. He's only 26 years old, can help usher in a new era. If I decided to do that, I'd have to give up Brandon Wright as well, who's a young center. This deal I kind of did a double take, but after a while I decided that this probably wouldn't be the best one. DeAndre Jordan, bringing him over. He's a young center, but on a big ass contract though. I can't afford that. That's too much. Tayshaun Prince would be just kind of a swap, an even swap. Heat Nation, I'm good. I'm not interested. I thought about doing this one, and you guys let me know what you think. Bringing in Aminu, who's a young forward, and kind of ripping off my boy D Coops, Pelicans or Hornets, whatever, and just cutting all that salary out and bringing in a cheap expiring deal. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Who I should bring in, what deal should I consider. Thought about bringing Tyson Chandler back home, to try to go for another ring, but his contract's a little hefty. My Lakers, I cannot believe they offer me this poo-poo platter of Jordan Hill and Metta World Peace. I'm not interested. The Magic are even worse, trying to give me an $11 million deal, although it would be an expiring contract. I don't want Hito. Gallinari is a very good young player, but it required me giving up a first rounder as well. No thanks. This deal was my favorite, I think. Roy Hibbert and Sam Young. I would get a franchise center to pair up with Dirk Nowitzki. Both guys can finish at the basket, and he can play some good defense too, as you saw in the playoffs this year in real life. Pistons have nothing. The Raptors have nothing. I'm not interested in Landry Fields' deal. This deal blew me away. Chandler Parsons, a very young, very inexpensive talent. I would actually be willing to give up a first rounder to bring him in because he's so good. I'm pretty sure my boy Astro fan wouldn't be too pleased. Batum is a good forward who plays great defense, and he's young. Richard Jefferson, you've seen him in my team videos, but he's not coming to Dallas. He makes way too much money. And Trevor Ariza. Now, you guys let me know in the comment section who I should bring back, because, I'm looking to do a couple of things. Bring back some young talent and some cap relief. So, speaking of cap, I decided to show you guys before I close this thing out, show you my current cap situation. Dirk, even though he has a hefty contract, he's not going anywhere. Like I said, he is the heart and soul of the Dallas Mavericks for the past almost 15 years plus. I've got Shawn Marion, and if you look a couple guys down, we have 70s and 80s in there, but then you see Anthony Morrow, a 67, making $4 million. So he's definitely going to be on the chopping block. I may find a team with cap space that would just be willing to take him and give back maybe a second rounder or two, because He's not going to be on this team. That's too expensive. I can't afford a $4 million sharpshooter who may not crack the rotation. But as this video winds down, I do want to give a shout out to MarkWeldman, who suggested this series, because it's something different. You know, I've got a lot of individual stuff on my channel as far as you know, my players and my careers and all this stuff. Road to the show with baseball. So this is a team thing. You get to see how I play with my squad, not just three-point cheesing in my team. If you're new, please subscribe. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment. This is I Pull Up to the House. I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna see you in a couple days in the next episode of this association. Peace.